The classroom was supposed to be a safe place. But on that rainy Tuesday morning, screams echoed down the empty halls. Miss Emily Carter, a young teacher fresh out of college, just 24, was cornered in her classroom by three senior boys who thought tormenting her was entertainment. They shoved her, mocked her trembling voice, and when she begged them to stop, they didn't. One cruel shove sent her crashing against the edge of her desk. The thud was sickening. Emily's head hit hard. Darkness swallowed her. She slipped into a coma. The school tried to cover it up. They called it an accident. But the truth spread quickly. Parents whispered, students cried, and one man, a single-dad veteran named Jack Miller, refused to stay silent. Jack was a man who had seen war, but raising his little girl, Sophie, was the toughest battle of his life. Every morning he dropped Sophie at that school, believing it was a safe place. Now he knew better. He couldn't forget the sight of Emily, kind, patient Emily, the teacher who had stayed late to help Sophie catch up in math, being wheeled out on a stretcher, her face pale and lifeless. For Jack, this wasn't just about justice. It was about humanity. While most people avoided the topic, Jack marched straight to the hospital. Sitting beside Emily's mother, a stern woman named Margaret, he made a promise. "Your daughter isn't alone. I'll stand for her no matter what." Margaret broke down in tears. Her husband had died years ago. Emily was her only child, and now her future hung by a thread. Days turned into weeks. Emily remained in a coma. But something extraordinary began to happen. Every evening, Jack brought Sophie to the hospital. They sat by Emily's bed, reading her favorite stories aloud. Sophie even placed her drawings on the wall, bright pictures of rainbows, flowers, and a smiling teacher. "Wake up soon, Miss Carter," she whispered. "We need you." The doctors said patients in comas couldn't hear, but Jack believed differently. One night when he held Emily's hand and softly said, "You are stronger than this. Fight your way back," a tear rolled down her cheek. Margaret gasped, hope sparked. But while Emily fought for her life, the school board fought for their reputation. They downplayed the bullying. They insisted the boys meant no harm. They even threatened to fire any teacher who spoke out. That's when Margaret, Emily's mother, transformed her grief into fury. She stormed into the next school board meeting, Jack by her side. With shaking hands, she slammed down hospital photos of her unconscious daughter. "This is what your silence has done," she thundered. Her voice cracked but carried fire. Parents rose from their chairs, furious. The truth could no longer be buried. News crews arrived. The story went viral. Young teacher beaten into coma by bullies, school tried to hide it. Within days, the school's reputation crumbled. The principal resigned. The bullies were expelled and faced charges. But the real miracle was yet to come. After 6 long weeks, Emily's fingers twitched. Then her eyelids fluttered. Slowly, painfully, she woke up. When she opened her eyes, the first thing she saw was Sophie holding a crayon drawing of the three of them, Miss Carter, Sophie, and Jack, smiling under a big sun. Emily whispered, "You waited for me." Jack's voice broke, "We never left." The town changed after that. Emily, though scarred, returned to teaching, not with fear, but with unshakable courage. Parents demanded stronger protections. Anti-bullying programs were launched, funded by the same community that once looked away. And Margaret, she became the fiercest advocate of all, ensuring no other child or teacher would ever face what her daughter had endured. As for Jack, he never saw himself as a hero. He was just a single dad trying to do what was right. But when Emily smiled at him months later, standing strong again, he realized something profound. Sometimes, the greatest battles aren't fought on foreign soil. They're fought right at home with kindness, persistence, and love. Emily's recovery wasn't easy. Every step, every word felt like climbing a mountain, but she wasn't climbing alone. Jack and Sophie were there cheering her on. Margaret, her mother, never left her side. One afternoon during therapy, Emily broke down. I don't know if I can do this. I feel broken. Jack knelt beside her wheelchair, his voice steady but soft. You've survived the worst. You're not broken, Emily. You're proof that light exists even in the darkest places. Don't let them take that from you. Those words became her fuel. Months passed. Emily returned to the classroom. The first day back, the halls were silent as she walked in. Students whispered, unsure what to say. Then Sophie ran up and hugged her, shouting, "Miss Carter's back." Suddenly, the room erupted in applause. Teachers cried. Parents lined the halls to welcome her. Even the toughest kids bowed their heads in respect. The bullies who once mocked her, gone, the fear she once carried, replaced by strength. Emily began speaking openly about her experience. She started assemblies about bullying, forgiveness, and courage. Students listened, really listened. For the first time, the school felt like a family. And then came the biggest twist of all. Jack, the single dad who had stood by her side, became more than just a friend. He became her partner in rebuilding life. Together, they weren't just survivors of tragedy, they were builders of hope. Margaret, once a grieving mother, now smiled brighter than ever. Watching her daughter, Jack, and Sophie laugh together at the dinner table, she realized something. Out of pain had come a new kind of family. The story that began with violence ended with healing. The teacher once left for dead became a voice for the living. The single dad who thought his war was behind him discovered his greatest victory in love. And a little girl who only wanted her teacher back became the reason an entire town learned the meaning of compassion.